Hey everybody, welcome back guys. Today's video is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you guys how to both cock and decock the Killer Instinct LOGIX, the non-RDC LOGIX with the removable crank that it's compatible with. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, for this video, obviously got the LOGIX set up in my Bog Death Grip tripod. You can do this in a tripod. You can do this using the foot stirrup. It really doesn't matter, whatever is most comfortable to you. First things first, though, if you are going to order a removable crank from Killer Instinct, make sure you check the compatibility of the crank with the different models of bows. So there's a few different versions of the sled crank. This one is the compact dead silent crank, the narrow sled. So this is the one that will be compatible with the LOGIX. But just check on the website before you order one to make sure you're getting the correct one for your crossbow. So these sleds are pretty simple to use, you guys. They come with a handle, which I'll show you here in a minute. They install on the back of the crossbow. If it's a crank compatible crossbow like the LOGIX is, you're going to have a square feature in the buttstock where the square, if you want to call it peg, of the crank just fits right into there. On the back of the crank is what I'll call, it's like a brake, or if you want to call it almost like free spool. So right now, if I pull on this crank, it is not going to let me take out any slack. I have to push up and hold this button up to allow it to free spool. If I let go of that button, it goes back to a locked position. You can see that. So think of that too as we set up this crank as far as how it's going to operate when you are cocking or decocking your crossbow. And I'll kind of explain as we go. But basically just get it stretched out. If there's a little bit of slack, even before you put on the handle, you can just take that slack up and just kind of get it started. And then this handle right here, it's ambidextrous. It can go on either the left side or the right side of the crank. You guys will see these 3 pins right here are what the handle interfaces with. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to install it on this side. And so if I'm not holding the brake or the free spool, whatever it is that you want to call it, if I start cranking and for some reason I want to stop, I can stop in this crossbow. Right now that crank is going to hold it in this kind of, half-cocked position. So cocking it, you just go all the way back, just keep cranking until you hear a click and you watch your safety move back to the safe position right there. So now what you do to release the crank is you're going to put a little bit of forward tension on it. If you try to release the brake or free spool right now, it's got a lot of load on it. So you've got to actually push forward like you're still cocking the crossbow, push up on that brake or free spool, and then just slowly let it out. And so now the crossbow is cocked. So to decock the crossbow now, let's say you just pulled this out of your pack. I like to utilize the brush and kind of get this situated right there under the brush, take up all the slack that I can, and then just very slowly and just kind of guide it, just making sure that it is engaging properly with the string, and it is. And now I've got just a teeny little bit of tension on it. So now we're going to flip that decock lever on the crossbow, this little lever right here. We're going to flip that forward and we're going to pull back like we're cocking it until we hear a click right there. So now that it's clicked and I still got tension on it, when I flip up and hold this lever up, it's going to be in a free spool state. So you really got to make sure you're just holding onto this handle really tight. If for some reason you don't feel comfortable, let go of the brake or the free spool, okay? So I'm going to push the free spool up and I'm just going to really slowly let it out. And you'll kind of feel as it comes around, because it's free spool and because those cams are turning and kind of wanting to pull, you'll feel it kind of pulling on you a little bit. If you need to stop for any reason, just let go of that brake and it's going to hold it in this, again, a half decock position. I'm ready to start again. I put a little tension, push and hold that brake or free spool up, and I can very slowly let the crossbow down. Just make sure you're really holding on to the handle, what is in my right hand, and just go nice and slow. But it's really simple. But just take your time with it. Don't try to go fast. Don't try to, you know, be in a rush or anything like that. And so that's pretty much it, you guys. And then just to, you know, wind up the, you know, the cable and stuff of the crank, you can just turn it by hand, get it wound back up so it's nice and tight, and then you can put this in your pocket, your pack, whatever it is, you know, that you're going to store this in. But it really is, it's not difficult. It shouldn't be intimidating or anything. Just make sure you get the right crank. Make sure when you do have that lever flipped up and the brake is off and you're in that free spool state, that you're holding on to this thing and just going nice and slow. A couple people also asked me if I prefer the RDC version of the Logix or if I prefer using a removable crank. My personal preference is using the removable crank. One, it's less weight, which I like, and I can still, like, I'm totally fine rope cocking or crossbow, and I usually, like, 80 to 90% of the time I'm rope cocking, but I do like to have this with me in the blind, in the tree stand, if I do need to get another shot off and I either don't want to take my tripod out or don't want to take my bow out of the tripod, or I'm up in the tree stand and it's just easier and safer to use this. That's where I really utilize this. So my personal preference is the Logix, the non-RDC version, and then adding the removable crank so I can use it whenever I want to without the extra weight of it built in. So I hope that helps you guys out. Hopefully that answers some of your questions as a demo too, is just how to use this and how simple it is. So if you guys are looking for more awesome crossbow content, go ahead and check out this video right here. And thank you for tuning in. Be safe, God bless, and remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.